All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Rusalka by C.J. Cherryh. Pronouncing that title of the book the best I can. Rusalka, I think that's what it is. Came out in 1989. It is a Russian-based folklore slash fantasy novel, a part of a trilogy that C.J. Cherryh did, Rusalka being book #1, Chernyh being book #2, and Yavengi being book #3. Now let's talk about the covers first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. All three of these books have covers by the late, great Keith Parkinson. He did a lot of the old Dungeons and Dragons TSR artwork back in the day, and he did all three of these, and they are just absolutely great. We'll take a closer look at book #1 here. So we've got our characters. Not a lot of characters in this book. I think there's only about 5 or 6 characters. 3 of them here represented. We got the ghost girl, the old man, and the young guy, and then the forest, which is dead in the background. You know, and it's a Russian story, so of course the forests are going to be dead. Anyway, let's talk about the book. What is it about? Okay, it starts out with Peter Kochevikov, a young man of about 20 years old. He is friends with an even younger fellow that they kind of pal around with, and that guy's name is Sasha Mizarov. So Peter and Sasha are our two main characters. Now, Peter is stabbed kind of in the first chapter. He's stabbed in the middle of the night, sort of part of a... Well, and then he flees, but he's kind of wrapped into this murder investigation, so that he's got to flee the town that this incident happened in. That's all I'm really going to say. A murder happened. Peter was stabbed. He's wounded. He has to flee. Both Peter and Sasha flee together into the grim Russian landscape. And I'm telling you, C.J. Cherryh does just a great job of describing this landscape and the bleakness of it in great detail. I like that kind of writing, you know. And as these two young men venture off into this unknown territory of just dark, gloomy, misty Russian forests. Anyway, they come across an old man named Ulamats. I mean, this is how do you spell the name? Ulamets. Ulamats. And he's kind of like this. Well, this is him right here, like a stooped over, hunchback Gandalf kind of a guy, and he's kind of like this wise man, wizard, kind of living in the forest. And then soon after meeting Ulamats, they run across Aveshka, who is Ulamat's daughter. Now, Aveshka is the Rusalka, the ghost girl, and this is where the title comes from. Rusalka is actually a Russian folk tale of ancient Russia, wherein the most dangerous ghost of all is the Rusalka, and the Rusalka is a murdered girl still seeking to exist by sucking the life energy from the living. Thus we have the dead forest, because the ghost girl, the daughter of Ulamats, is to stay amongst the living as a ghost. She sucks the energy from the surrounding landscape, and that's why the Russian forest that Peter and Sasha are adventuring through is so grim and dead looking. So anyway, Peter and Sasha, they always kind of mocked people that believed in religion, people that believed in magic, until, of course, they meet the old forest wizard and his ghost daughter. And then, of course, our young man Peter starts to fall in love with the ghost girl, and this is right, you know, pretty early on, and but will her need to quench her thirst for the life-giving sustenance and energy that she gets from the living things around her, be too powerful of a pull and a draw to take these two young lovers and drift them apart and cause conflict and all sorts of other things that happen in the book, which shall not be mentioned because I don't want to be too spoilery. And basically, I didn't say anything that wasn't really on the back here. And so I really quite enjoyed this. This was an unexpected surprise for me. I mean, I've got all of the C.J. Cherryh books. Oh my gosh. Okay. Got my entire C.J. Cherryh book collection right there. And these three books are part of that. And I'm slowly working my way through her collection of books to leave a review of all of them. I really quite was surprised at how much I enjoyed this. I like the atmosphere of it. I don't know why. I just like kind of the ghostly, grim atmosphere of this forest that they were living, this dead forest that they were living in. So I give this a solid 8.5 out of 10, and I will be looking to see how the story continues in these two other volumes of the trilogy. And so there we go for Rusalka by C.J. Cherryh.